And you see where this is going, not towards your goal, right? Because we're not really making consistent progress. That's the most important thing here. When it comes to consistency, I'm not talking about just consistently doing the thing. That's clear. That should be obvious, right? You should be consistently training. The way you want to think about this is that in the beginning, you might not be making fast progress, right? Sticking to something like this is, in my opinion, one of the safest ways to actually make sure you're going into the right direction. Welcome back, day 26 of Sharing the Bulletproof Truth, and today's truth is that consistency is key. You've probably heard this 1,000 times, but what I want to share with you today is going to go into more detail and actually help you to actually realize, okay, how can you get to that goal of, being able to play football pain-free again, or just being able to go through life pain-free, being able to play lost for longer when you're playing. Maybe you can play 5 minutes right now pain-free, but as soon as you go longer, you start getting these lingering pains again, and you're not really back at 100%, and let alone, going beyond that, going to your full potential. So how do you actually reach your goal in the most effective way? By being consistent, by nailing down the consistency. And as I said, you've probably heard this 1,000 times. I'm going to go into kind of 3 different areas, 3 different scenarios that it could look like when we look at this chart, because it's definitely not just going to look like this, right? It's definitely not just going to be a linear line. Best case, it would be like that, right? But we know life is life. We can never guarantee tomorrow. We can never know exactly what's happening. And I've helped now, we've helped with Bulletproof Ballers over 150 people get back to the sport they love. And it's rarely really just been a linear line from where the person's been to where they want to go, right? And that's why I want to make it clear for you that this linear line, first of all, it's not really realistic, right? So what else can we do to make sure eventually this distance we need to cover up, we can do this in the shortest amount of time possible, so that this is not just going on for life? Because if we're moving at this pace continuously, we're going to be trying to reach our goal forever, right? Because if we're moving that slow, you might be reaching your goal at 60, and that's also not the goal, right? But we have to think long term. We have to think in a way of how the body works, because how your body works, and especially with injuries, you never know when that next breakthrough is going to be. So what happens with most people when they're trying to get rid of pain is that they gain some knowledge, they start a program, they start to train, and either, if they're going straight down, we know, okay, they realize as well, you realize, okay, this is not going into the right direction. You will feel straight away, cool, the training doesn't even have any positive effect at all. But if you've been trying maybe some of our stuff and you see, okay, it's actually starting to help, cool, I'm going up here, but it's kind of staying here. Like, I don't know, is this actually going to get me out of pain? Maybe I feel a little bit better, but it's not really what it is. And then you fall off again, you don't stay consistent, and that's how you never reach your goal. Other scenario, right? I'm just going to run you through different scenarios here, and eventually going to show you the most effective one we found that it just makes sense, right? But probably no one's ever told you this. So the other thing that could happen is that you go in, you get some newbie gains, you get really excited, amazing, you're just going up. It looks like you were reaching the goal much earlier than expected even, but boom, the setback happens, right? And now, instead of taking this momentum to go back up because you've seen it work, you feel like, oh no, there's no way, I got the setback, and you continue to go down. This is another scenario, and this could even go on as far as, okay, you're going up, you're feeling good, you're making loads of progress, but then you go back down. You feel really good, you make loads of progress, but you go back down. And you see where this is going, not towards your goal, right? Because we're not really making consistent progress. That's the most important thing here. When it comes to consistency, I'm not talking about, just consistently doing the thing. That's clear. That should be obvious, right? You should be consistently training. The unobvious, or like kind of thing that is not happening for many people, is that consistent progress. Because look, the way you want to think about this is that in the beginning, you might not be making fast progress, right? But what you're doing right here is accumulating momentum, because you never know. We've seen people have amazing breakthroughs within the first 3 weeks, right? Getting off anti-inflammatory painkillers, whatever, within 3 weeks. But then we have other people that are, they're moving at maybe a slower pace, until, I don't know, 4 months in, right? Let's say here's 4 months in, and they still don't really look close to where their goal is. And the goal is, okay, in 1 year being back to playing pain-free. So it keeps on going 4 months, but suddenly they have this kind of breakthrough, right? They break through a plateau, they break through a wall, maybe not even a plateau, because they have been making consistent progress, just not as fast as they were expecting or as fast as they were hoping. But what we've seen over and over again is that because we're addressing the ability that you have, right? We're not addressing any specific medical condition, we're addressing your ability, which is basically points on a scale. Like, let's say you need 100% or 100 points of your ability to be able to reach your goal, right? To be able to play football pain-free, for example. Right now, right here, you're maybe at, let's say you're accumulating ability over time really slowly. Maybe you're at 15 points now. And then suddenly you have this breakthrough and your ability goes up, because now you can go harder in training. Let's say you reach, this is just numbers I'm throwing around here. I want to show you the principle behind it, kind of the logic behind, okay, if you're then able to push harder in your training because your ability is constantly increasing, you've built this up slowly but steadily, and you've not rushed anything, you've consistently, and the connective tissues had time to adapt as well, because the thing you've got to realize is that there's no magic pill here. Connective tissues have been shown. They take longer than muscle to adapt. They can grow, but it's not going to be like, okay, with muscle, maybe within 2 weeks, you see your bicep already, looking a little bit bigger, whatever. Connective tissue, you want to be thinking in 3 months, right? 3 months, next 3 months, next 3 months. So for us people that come in, we want to work with them for at least 3 to 6 months, right? Making sure that we can actually get those connective tissue to remodel. And what's happening here, okay, over these 3 months, maybe you don't see that much or that fast spiked up progress that you were hoping to see. Maybe you see, maybe not. We can't really guarantee that, because it always comes down to your ability, right? How you're progressing, everything else that we also need to nail down, of course. But what I want to say here is that you could work until 3 months, and now your connective tissues have started remodeling, all that stuff. Good stuff is happening. You're gaining this momentum, and you could suddenly go up, right? This doesn't have to be a linear line. This doesn't have to continue for like this forever. Actually, what we do see is that at some point, everyone has this breakthrough where it's like, oh, I feel so much better now. Oh, okay, now I can go downstairs without having pain. Oh, now I can actually, I feel confident actually going into some jumps, into some sprints, whatever. So this is how it looks, right? You're making slow progress. And the good thing about making slow progress, so to say, is that it's safe progress. Because again, if you're going up fast, let's show another example. If you're going up, really fast, and then let's say you get sick, right? Then you're gonna lose this progress quickly, because you've built it up really fast, but not in a way where your body really had the time to adapt this and to, so to say, save the gains, right? So when you get sick or you have a setback, whatever, you can't train for a while, you quickly lose that again. Someone that's been training consistently for 10 years, if he's like out for 1, 2, 3 weeks, he's not just going to lose everything he's built up over the 10 years, right? It makes sense, right? So slowly building up will make sure that even if you have a setback or whatever, you can bounce back quickly and go back up. And the thing is, again, this right here doesn't mean that we're not progressing. This right here, this kind of straight line, means that we're saving the gains, that we're preparing for maybe another boost, for another breakthrough, right? And this is how we can go up, have that other breakthrough, then save the gains again, go up again, have that other breakthrough, save the gains, boom. Because we can't just always go up exponentially. This is simply not how the body works. The body will always need time to adapt, right? That's just how it works. And that's really the safest way. You can, over time, build up to the goal where you have 100% of your ability, and then go even beyond that. Because maybe this 100 points of your ability allow you to play football pain-free, But what if you build to 200? You could build up, like it doesn't stop, because your body, it could continue. You save these gains, you go up, you save these gains, and you lock those in. And even if you get a setback, because you've saved them now, you spend some time here, your body has adapted, the tissues had the time to adapt. It's not just the muscle that are adapting more quickly, but also the connective tissues, right? That's what's gonna, for example, allow you then to play a football game for 90 minutes and not feel any pain, because the connective tissues, they're so much stronger, they're so much more enduring than your muscles are, right? So here, this is it. This is really it. That's all I wanted to show you today with this chart of, okay, the consistency is key, but not just consistently putting in the work, but making sure we're consistently nailing down the basics, right? So if we're working at this level where we feel like, okay, it's not going too fast, but we know we're going into the right direction, we can only go up or we can go down, right? It's almost impossible to just stay at the same level all the time. And that's also not the goal, right? So if we know, okay, we're not going down, it's very likely going up. Maybe you're not noticing it yet, but at some point that breakthrough will come, and boom, then you can build, you can save that again, build it on top of that. And that's really how we can make sure we don't have this up and down of, yeah, you're putting in the work consistently, but you're also consistently setting yourself back. You're consistently falling into bad habits, whatever. And this is really what I wanted to share with you today. The ability is something that allows us to say, look, if you save the gains, if you save this level of ability, then you build up on top of that. Boom, boom, boom. That's how we stack up these wins over time. Thinking in 3 months periods, right? Not just 1 week, oh, it hasn't worked. No, thinking in 3 months periods, right? And obviously, if you have the guidance around it and someone that tells you, like we do, okay, you're on the right track. All you have to do is stay consistent with this. Let us know, send in the video so we can see where can we optimize things. What's going to give you that breakthrough? Maybe adding in something else. Maybe something is missing. Maybe your connective tissue is not keeping up with the muscle, so we add some more of that stuff so we can get that breakthrough eventually, right? We want to get through to those breakthroughs, but I think the main thing here is to realize that it's not bad or nothing, like it's nothing wrong that you're just, you feel like, oh, I'm never going to reach this goal at this tempo, but then suddenly you have this breakthrough. And then you can kind of be relaxed. You can save these gains again. Boom. And that's how your body has this time to adapt. And I think it should be clear by now. And yeah, this is massive, right? If you can stick with that, have that in your mind when you're putting in the work consistently every single day, and you're going into the right direction, no matter what the pace is right now, it's never going to be always fast, always slow. This depends really, right? You might have that breakthrough, boom, amazing, right? Breakthroughs feel so amazing. Every time someone comes and says, yeah, now I played for 4 hours, whatever, and my knees feel amazing. That's a big breakthrough right there. But in the training, you might have not really felt it, right? And that's because we are building this ability up in a safe way where you can then keep it and actually continue with this, right? It's a lifelong journey. It's not just that you build up once to 100 of your ability and then you just decide to stay there. No, then you're gonna go back down. You're gonna lose it again, right? That's not how it works. So it's about actually making sure it's something you can stick to, something that allows you to save those gains, build on top of that, save those gains, build on top of that. Okay? I hope this video helped. I hope you're gonna take this seriously, because like this is key, right? This is what I missed for so long, when I knew, okay, this is the exercise I have to do. This is what's going to get me there. This is where I want to be. But this whole thing around it, like the plan, I was really missing the plan. So I invested in a plan, right? Simplest thing you can do, invest into guidance, invest into a plan. If you don't have the capability to do so, if you're not in a situation to do so, sticking to something like this is, in my opinion, one of the safest ways to actually make sure you're going into the right direction, and you don't risk having these setbacks all the time, but you're also making sure that you're actually progressing and not just staying at the same level. Okay? Hope this helped. See you the next time. Peace.